Do you want to know how ETs make things? Should we get into that? Because this is actually a consciousness-assisted technology. So, you know, this microphone and all this stuff has been, we cut down a tree for this. The metal was dug out of the earth, you know, Neanderthal-like, and smelted down and made into metal. And then it's riveted together in bolts and screws. Transdimensional interstellar civilizations, which means the ones that are here and have exceeded the speed of light, have mastered the sciences of transdimensional manufacturing. To wit, they are able to create a standing resonant sonic energy field that is almost like an architectural blueprint of something, like 3D printing, but this is like 4 or 5D printing. Get it? And in that resonant field, then materialize the object, the spacecraft, the piece of clothing, from the transdimensional interface, energetic interface, with subatomic space-time matter, so that the molecules, the atoms, the structures, everything in that is coming through into this dimension of 3D from that deeper interface from another dimension, an energy field, and it just materializes it. Now, the word materializes, no one thinks what that means. It's to make material, but you're assembling it from these elementals. I call them the elementals that are subatomic, and then way in past the even 0 point energy field, which is infinite energy, as Tesla said. The Dirac sea, as Professor Dirac said. But in that pluripotent state, you can recruit pure gold, pure platinum, iron, any metal, and biologicals, what have you. So you can then manifest that. And what you have just heard, I would say a handful of people on Earth know, even in classified projects. It's highly compartmented. This is really way past TS-SCI, top secret special compartmented intelligence. But that's how they happen. And this is why, you know, when occasionally after we've hit a scalar weapon, electromagnetic weapon, and made one of these craft crash and downed them, by the way, we've been doing that. The early testing of it was Roswell. That spacecraft, or two of them that crashed, was the result of a, quote, radar dome, this FBI document that we got and put out, which is now the #1 viewed document on the FBI website now. And it's an official document from a field agent writing to J. Edgar Hoover talking about what happened at Roswell, and that apparently it crashed because of a new radar system we put in. Well, I can assure you that an interstellar vehicle, and there are two of them, who are doing surveillance of our only atomic bombs squadron in the world, which is where Roswell was at the time in 1947, doesn't crash because we have a new radar system. It was a radar system that had embedded in it a longitudinal scalar, faster than the speed of light weapon system, which we'll get into if you want to hear. If you're a physicist, want to talk to me, but most people, basically, the light you're looking at is a wave. You know that? A laser is like a green laser, is that wavelength all synchronized coherently, coherent light. Longitudinal electromagnetic systems are a point and longitudinal, and there's no wave component. And they're multiples of the speed of light, and that has been weaponized. Got it? So that's what happened at Roswell. And has then been developed and deployed, and by 1965 we're on platforms in space targeting interstellar vehicles and downing them. That's why there have been many of them that have crashed. They don't, you know, these things don't come through intergalactic space and go, oops, I can't really navigate the jet stream and crash in the Andes, all right? So between 1965 and I'd say 95 or so, in that 30 years, there's a geosynchronous satellite net with detector systems that then track and target interstellar vehicles and can down them. Now, of course, the kill rate, to use a terrible term, military term, isn't 100%, but it's very dangerous. And so this is what's out of control in the deep black projects at the Pentagon, DIA, SAIC, EGNG, Raytheon. I know the guys who worked on this system. I'm not speculating here. So this then, you have to understand that what I'm talking about, the ET civilizations visiting here, might be very reluctant to interface too overtly in 3D, because once they step down the resonant frequency from transdimensional fields into 3D space-time, they're basically like shooting fish in a barrel at this point. And we need to stand those systems down. And that's what I've been asking. Actually, the central purpose of my meeting with the general who's in charge of the Defense Intelligence Agency was to ask him to work to do that, but he was not briefed or read into those projects and had no access to them. They were beyond the reach of the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is basically a big operation like the CIA, but it's within the Pentagon. Have y'all heard this before? Anyway, I don't know how much of this you've heard, but it's very important for you to understand the milieu we're operating in. But going back to this concept of consciousness-assisted technology, so if you're connected and you see what you want to manifest, you can connect to a technology that creates this resonant and sonic, deep sonic field that then materializes that object. So not initially, but say, I don't know how many years into the future, we're not even going to need to be having mining operations or manufacturing or anything that damages the Earth. It will simply be this kind of high-tech 4D, 5D manufacturing. Forget 3D manufacturing.